Hello, I thought I'd come on today to show you how to make these, one of these magic window cards. I featured one on my blog last week and it was quite popular and a few people had asked for a tutorial, so here we go. Now it came about because I had a magazine and there was a tutorial in a magazine, but it was so complicated to follow that I thought I'd kind of simplify it a bit and have a go. So me and my friend Sue did, and this is the result. And I'll show you the magic part. So this is the front of the card. It looks quite pretty, and then when you open it up, you sort of like reveal a hidden message on the inside. So it's just something different, quite nice. So I thought I'd just show you quickly how to do it. So to start off with, you need a piece of card that is 28 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and you're going to need to score that at 7 centimetres and 21 centimetres. And that's going to give you your gatefold card. So then you'll just fold over your creases, and there you go. You've got your gatefold card, which is the basis of your card. Now, I started recording this video the day before yesterday, and I got just into putting on my decorative papers, and the memory card flashed full. So I had to order another one and start again. So I'm going to bring in the one I made on video the other day, and all I've done is add decorative papers. On the front I have put these are the Delightful Daisy papers from Stampin' Up. On the front I've put a mat of Calypso Coral because it's kind of like a colour that's featured in the paper. But on the inside you can't add any sort of like mats of card underneath your paper, because you don't want the thickness. Otherwise you're not going to be able to open and fold your card properly. So a way around that is, you can probably see, I just went round the edge with a sponge and just added some of the Calypso Coral ink around the edges, just to almost make it look like there is a layer of contrasting card underneath. So the next piece you need to cut is the mechanism, the piece here that you're going to stick on for the working mechanism to go underneath. Now for that you need a piece of card that is 9 centimetres by 15 centimetres. I'll stick that on there in case you want to. And you're going to score it at 1 centimetre. And I did one the other day, so no, I'll show you. That'll be easier. Whoops. I score it at 1 centimetre. And then fold it over and burnish it. And then I'm going to stick my decorative paper on. I'll just use some tape. I don't know how I've managed it this morning, but I've managed to lose my pot of glue. So, right, let's make sure I take the right side. Before I put it on, I am going to go round the outside with a bit of the Calypso Coral ink just to draw the edge of the paper, your eye in from the edge of the paper. So I'll show you what I mean. You just literally go around the edge and try and really concentrate the colour on the edge, so it will give that look as though you've got a mat of the orange card underneath. It doesn't take 2 minutes, and I think it really does make a difference. That's it. Let's move my ink out of the way. Don't do my usual trick of putting my arm in it. I'm trying to, I've got a new craft storage unit that I'm working on, and I'm used to having a really long desk, but I don't think it matters how big a space you have. You always end up crafting on like the size of a postage stamp. So we're going to stick that on there like that, and that's going to give you your... Then what we've got to do is we've got to cut a hole in here so that our hidden message can be revealed. So I've just taken a circle die from the stitched shapes, Stampin' Up stitched shapes, but if you've got any circle will do, and you could even punch it out. And you kind of want to have it about 2 centimetres down from the top, like that, and kind of centre it. And then you're going to die cut that out. Now, in true Blue Peter fashion, well, actually, it's mostly because I did one the other day just before my machine cut out. So I have one already made. So I'm just going to now stick that in place. Now I find a bit of a sort of like a cheaty tip is to find the centre of here, which is it's 14 centimetres. So I find if you just take like an embossing tool and make a little mark at 7, so you know where the centre is, and then you know this is 9 centimetres, so make a mark at like 4.5, and then you can kind of see that you've sort of like eyeballed it in the right place. So I'll stick a bit of tape on there for speed, and we'll stick that in place. Now I'm quite excited to start doing tutorials again, so if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, you can either leave a comment down below in the comment section and I'll see that, or if you can go over to my blog where all the details for this card will be, all the written instructions will be on my blog. So we're going to stick that like that, and now we're going to add in the actual open and closing mechanism, these pieces here. Now in the tutorial we tried to follow, first of all, it told you to cut 2 tabs 120 millimetre or 120 or 12 centimetres by 7 centimetres, score 20 millimetres in from the end to make your flap that you're going to stick it down with, and then it told you to draw a line at 35 millimetres from the end, and then cut from the corner to the centre, or it told you to cut from the corner to the end of the line, but that was just too confusing. So my sort of like quick tip idea thing was, if you take a piece of card that is 24 centimetres long by 7, and then on your scoreboard, put it into your scoreboard and mark in the centre at 3.5 and at 12, where you would have cut the other ones too, and take a square die and place it on, sort of like centred on your little embossed lines that you've done, so that you know that the flags are going to be, the flag tails are going to be in exactly the right place. And then run it through your die cutting machine. It's going to be noisy. Sorry, put my head in the way. And then you've then got your take the tape off. Slowly and patiently so it doesn't tear your card. You've then got your two perfect flag tails, rather than trying to cut them with scissors or a knife. To me that just sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. Then burnish your creases. Now you can either leave these plain, or you can sort of like stamp a pattern on them to give them a bit of detail. I think I used the on this one I just used the pattern from the trellis design stamp in the Graceful Garden Thinlits stamp set. So, but for speed, I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm just going to position you. If you sort of like, you can kind of work out where they need to be in the. So they're going to open and close in the centre of your circle. And then take your, oh, mine's going to be tape because I can't find my glue. Stick some tape to the back of your I prefer using wet glue because I think it lasts for longer. So you use whatever your adhesive of choice is. Right, now to position. Let me work out how far down I've done these ones. Just under, just over 2 centimetres. Right, so we want, let's line it up under here so that we know we're going to be actually, you could just move that out of the way so you've got them properly lined up, and then stick it down, and then we'll do the same on the other one. Stick some tape on. Now, I think what I'll do is, for everyone that leaves a comment, I will put their name into like a hat, and I will draw out a winner, and somebody can, well, if you want to, can win either this card or the other one. So now you've got your mechanism that's going to open and close when you, but you've got to stick them down first. Put them on. So yeah, you see. So now we've got to stamp our sentiment. You can use whatever sentiment you choose, whether you do a happy birthday or it's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to use the same one I did the other day because I like the way it fits in the picture. So we'll stamp it in Calypso Coral so that it all matches. There we go. And then I'll just quickly clean off my stamp while I remember. I love this thing. It's cleaning stamp and scrub tool. Perfect for cleaning your stamps so you don't end up putting them away dirty. Now you don't have to be too sort of like accurate with cutting this out, as long as you make sure that it's within the circle of your window. Where are my plates? Let's quickly run this through and die cut this. Sorry for me leaning in. Right. Well then, I'll just have to do it with some tape for now. Stick our sentiment behind our window. Centre it in so that it's going to be, there you go. And then we're going to stick, now we can stick down the bottom of our covering flap. Right. So I actually think it's actually quite, if you break it down, it's quite simple. Unlike peeling this tape off, which is a nightmare. Right. That's it. Oh, that's why I don't like using tape. There we go. Let me just sort it out.